So now we had the introduction about SAP HANA. We could understand the architecture and then why is it so fast and what is HANA, and then we've seen about the different use cases of SAP HANA. Can't hear. Is it the same case with everyone? Can't hear me? Hello?
We can hear you.
Okay. So if someone is able to hear, then there should be some problem with your side. Okay. So now we're going to get into the system. Now I've got my HANA server installed. I've got my HANA server running at this IP 192.168.1.100. This is the IP where my HANA server is running. And at this server, I have the OS as SUSE Linux. SUSE Linux is OS, and I've got HANA server software is installed. Now this is my HANA server. Okay, and I'm working at client system. This is my server system where my HANA server software is running in at this IP address, and the server name is SAP Cubex, and system ID is SP9 is my system ID. Like same like SAP software, like how do you get the system ID? Like you'll have 3-character word, which is SID or system ID. HANA also would have system ID. This is my server name, this is a system ID, and this is my OS, which where it is running in. Okay. And I'm working from a client workstation. Yeah. I'm working at a client workstation where I've got Windows. I think I've got Windows 8.1 professional edition. This is my OS here. Okay. So I've got my server with this setup, and okay, and this is my client workstation. Okay, and if I look at my IP, mine is 1.5. So my IP is 192.168.1.5. So see, mask is same, so I'm in the same local area network. So first thing is I am in the same network here. My server is in the same local area network. So in the real time, you may not have your server with the same local area network. It could be in somewhere else. Then you would have to use some VPN and get into the network. So you need to get into the network where my server has been set up, whether it is through VPN, but for me it's okay. It is in LAN. I'm able to connect it directly. So once I have this, now having Windows in my system, I need to get connected to my HANA server and start working on Windows. So I've got HANA server installed here. Okay. So in my client system, I need to install HANA client tools so that I can use those client tools and get connected to my database and then start working on it. Okay. Now client tools would be HANA Studio. I'll have to install HANA Studio in my client workstation. And by using this HANA Studio, I can get connected to my server and then start working on it. So HANA Studio is not different software. It's a client software for working on HANA. Okay. And sometimes since I'll have to also work with BW on HANA. Okay. I also want to install SAP Geo because if I want to get connected to SAP systems, I need to have this SAP Geo also. Now, today we're trying to set up this client environment for us, so that from this client environment, you start getting connected to your server, and then we can start working on it. So HANA Studio will be the client software installed in a client system through which you get connected to your HANA server. Okay. And this does not need any license because it's a client tool. You can always download and then install it for you. So you can now, this is my system. So it's 64-bit. My OS is 8.1 Professional Edition, and this is 64-bit. Okay. So now what I'll do? Yeah. Yeah. Because you'll have Studio compatible to Linux, then Windows also. So mine is what? Windows with 64-bit. Okay. So what I'll do? You get into service marketplace, then support portal. Because in the real time, you know how to work on HANA, but you don't know what is Studio, where it is, then fake or not. You get into this A to Z and you want to go with Studio, right? So get into HANA, click on H. Yeah. When you go to HANA Platform Edition, get in. This is all DB. Sorry. I need to get into Studio, not this. So if you don't know path, I can straight get in and say search. So there's HANA Studio here. There are a lot of versions. You can just take the latest one. Mine is HANA Studio. I'll just take this. You get into one HANA Studio 1.0. Then you want it what? Windows 64-bit. Just click in and then get down. And then I can not in one. The patch. Sorry. Just 2 is the latest, then I get into 64-bit. Then this is, you'll have all this and you can pick the latest patch and then you can just click on this to download this. See, you see this file coming as what? .sar. I told you yesterday, it's a SAP own compressed format. They give it as .sar and you download this .sar file and then install this. You have to unzip this and then install, go to install. Okay. I'm not downloading now because I already have it downloaded. Okay, you just have to click this and then download it. Now I have this HANA software, which is this. What was that? 23 was, see, 8000323.sar. This is my SAR files. The same thing I just downloaded earlier. So this is my Studio software which I have downloaded. Okay, but this is with what extension? .sar. So your unzip or this will not work out. So to unzip this, we need to use this software called SAP car. Again, from the same marketplace, you can download this software, SAP car. So SAP car will be the exe file to unzip that files of extension .sar. Okay. So what you do? Make sure the .sar file and SAP car file both are placed onto the same folder. Okay. Then how do I unzip that? So get to the command prompt. So I'm in the F, right? So get into the F drive and within F, which folder is it? See, what is this path? HANA Studio. Okay. Once you get into this, execute this command SAP car -xvf and your file name. What is the file name here? IMC. Yeah, this is a file name. This is how you execute this command, SAP car xvf and your file that unzipped. So it's going to extract that file and give it to you. Yeah, it says it's all extracted completely. Now if it's extracted, you will have this folder. You get it. It's like unzipped. Okay. Now you have this folder. Okay. Now I just want to take this out. Cut, and then I want to say. I want to get this into my folder. Okay. Now you can just start. Just like normal running your setup file. Just say run this HTTP setup. So I want to install new and let it place into this path. Okay. I'm okay. Since it is 64-bit, it gets into program files. Yeah. And if you already installed and you want to just update it, then you will use what? Update. Let's say you already have the earlier version and you want to update what we have, then that's it. Next. So if you're sitting on the client system and you want to get connected to Hana server, you need to have this Studio. Studio where Hana where gaadu. Hana Studio is actually client software to get connected to Hana server. Yesterday other day someone was saying, by using Hana Studio, we're creating Hana model. What is it I do with Hana? It's only client. It's only a client software, but ultimately modeling is all done on Hana server only. But online, please mute. So now this is successfully installed and it's finished. So if I have installed it, I should be able to have that now. If I just get in, I should find that. Project into my apps. Where is my? So I'll have this Hana Studio. This is my studio. So this will be my front-end client tool to get connected. Now I've got this installed. Now from this, since I'm in the same network for my Hana server, I can start getting connected with this studio. And this Hana Studio is more of an Eclipse kind of tool. Now this is how the tool looks like. Because I already installed previously. I don't want this. I'll install it manually later. I want to show it manually. Okay. See, these are. So if it is new, because actually I installed previously, then I uninstalled it, then that's what we had that settings. So if it is new system, we'll just have it like this. This is the tool here. Now this is more of an Eclipse based kind of tool, okay? And it has something called perspective. What is it? Look at this, open perspective here. So what is this concept here? Look at this. Say I'm a Hana modeler. My interest when I log into the studio, my interest will be about building the application database, and then on top of this application database, creating my virtual models and then expose them for report. That is my role as a modeler. There will be different persons, say Hana administrator. His role is different. You want to get connected to the server, and then you want to do all configuration relevant to Hana administration. Or some person want to deal with security about creating users, and every person, and there might be different person who wants to get connected to student work on HANA native development. He want, by using HANA native framework, he would like to develop his own custom applications first. There might be a person who is logging into HANA Studio to work explicitly on HANA specific BW modeling. There might be some person who is logging into HANA Studio who want to explicitly work on ABAP specific to Eclipse or ABAP specific to HANA bus. So what SAP has done is, instead of giving separate tools for everyone, they said it will be only one tool. For everyone, it will be only one tool. But only thing is, within the tool, you'll have different perspectives. So depending on your perspective, what you want, depending on the work, what you want to do, you'll choose your perspective. Based on that, you'll have different views. For example, say I'm somewhere else, and now I want to choose, say, I want to work on HANA modeling. So I'll choose a perspective as what? HANA modeler. If I just get it HANA modeler, say, so when I get it HANA modeler, this is my view. So I'll have something like systems view, various list view. I'll have properties block, job log, history, progress, and then there's something like quick view. So say, as a modeler, whatever I need, I would get my screen specific to me as a modeler. Suppose I get in, let's say I would like to work on HANA native development. Let's say I would like to use the HANA native framework and develop my own custom applications. Then I get in. When I get into HANA native development, I see a different view. I see systems view, repositories view, product explorer view, and I see some problems and change management. I see a different set of view for HANA native development. That is what perspective is all about. So what they have done is, it will be one tool, HANA Studio, for everyone, whether he is an administrator or HANA developer or HANA modeler or BW. When you want to work on BW specific modeling of HANA or ABAP specific of HANA, it will be all one tool. But only thing is, you'll have to choose your respective perspective and then do your work. So depending on the perspective what you choose, you'll have different set of views being available. Clear on this? Okay. Let's say I get in and then I want to go with normal modeler perspective, where I would deal with, majority of the time you deal with modeler because we are a developer. So, and then you'll have something called systems view. This is very, very important. From this, like, see, if you install SAP GUI, what do you do? Whenever you want to get connected to a server, you add that item saying this is the server, this is system ID, so and so, and then you get connected to that. Same way, once I have my studio, I can get connected to n number of HANA servers provided they're in my network, whether it is LAN or VPN or whatever it is. Okay. So now I will say in the systems view, I would like to get connected to a system. Say I'll say what? Right click and say what? Add system. Which system do you want? Say ask me host name. Now the host is nothing but the name of the computer or name of the system where my HANA server is running. So the computer name is SAP Cubex is my host name. Nothing, that is a system name or computer name where my HANA server is running in. And then I would say instance is, okay, they'll give you the 00 is my instance. Okay, sorry, 01 is my instance. I'll tell you what does this instance mean. Okay? And then Cubex HANA system something. And then lastly for user and then I'm connected. So as soon as I get connected, I see different, like this. If I have another server, again I'll say what? Right click, add system, get connected. And once I add this, I don't have to add every time. I can just say right click. Once I finish my work, I'll say log off. Then again, if I want to get connected, I'll just say what? Log on, then ask me the password. That's how you can add up any number of systems. Development, quality, production, you add all the systems here. Okay, boss. Just we'll get to this. Still, we need to do some more installations. This is okay. But let's say I wanted to work with respect to BW modeling of HANA. Now, if I go to my perspectives, do you see anything like BW modeling here? No, that is actually I have uninstalled it. but I could not restart because the meeting was running. So I could not restart the system. ఆ ముందు వల్లే చూపిందా లేదు యాక్చువల్గా పర్ఫెక్ట్ లేదు. It says nothing is, it says red, means not, it has been uninstalled, but it's still showing those entries because I did not restart my system. I could not do that because the meeting was running. Okay. So now I will have to install that. So we need to install the BW modeling tools again separately. What you do is again, if you go to your marketplace, so if you want to work on this, again the same software, you can just search for SAP BW modeling.
Modeling spelling need to be corrected.
Yeah.
Double L.
Okay. Yeah, when you search for SAP build modeling, you get this modeling tools. I'll come to this later why I'm choosing this 1 point, because for advanced DSO I need to have the latest version of 1.7. So I can just click this and we can download this. It's a normal zip file and you just download this. Okay. I've already done that. This is, look at this, BWMT's BW modeling tools, and I've already downloaded this zip file here. Take this and let me place into my batch. Is it okay? And just say, this is normal zip file, so I can just extract it. Now it is extracted. Now I need to import this BW modeling software into my Hana Studio so that I can start working on BW modeling. So you can say help. What is it? Install new software. And then చూపిస్తాను path. So I can add in. No problem. Add. You want to install a new software from what is already been in your local, right? So I'll say local. It's in my drive.
So these activities will be done by administrator, right?
Even I thought the same way initially, but what they do is in real time, they'll just have some common share folder. They'll just place all the Hana Studio and modeling tools there, and they ask you to set up. So they'll allocate a client system for you, and then you have to set up it for yourself. So when you ask them for the studio, they may not give you service marketplace ID, but they'll say there is already a share folder where we already downloaded and kept it ready. So you just have to copy it from the share folder.
Okay. We need to do this activity.
Yeah, for each kind of so you wanted a lot of plugins, then you can't approach them every time. So you just have to take from share folder, then install it. That's it. This is just normal client.
Okay.
Batch 9 BW something, and just say okay. Now it will show me all the software what is available in that this thing, and then select all. I want to go with composite provider, query designer, open days, everything. Okay, and then say next. I'm going with 1.7 version of this modeling tools. Because only when I have this installed, I can start working with BW modeling specific techniques of BW modeling. Because there was a person who answered every question, but he could not tell this one. How do you set up BW modeling? Vasu ichana cheptanu. And similar way, when I have to work on, so let's say I have to work on ABAP specific to Hana modeling or Hana Eclipse. Then again, that will have a different software which you have to download for ABAP perspective, then install it. That's all. See, this is not for you to practice. This is just to know how they set up this. At least the client environment you should know, because if I just try to take you to Hana Studio and then doing something, then you don't know what is, you will assume this is a server. This is not the server. Server is different. This is just the client software. We're just setting up my client system. Okay. No. You can install it just for practice, but using this studio you cannot connect his server because that is a public IP, right? So you do. Yes, what he has done is he has got Hana server and he's got another normal desktop system, and the desktop system has got connection to that Hana server, and he has given access to this desktop system for you, not for the server. So what are the public IP you got? That is for this desktop, not for the. If the public IP would have been the IP address for Hana server, you could have, after installing Studio, you can get connected to that server directly. But he has made the public on the client system, not the server system. You get connected to the public IP, so you enter his network. From there, you connect to that system will have Hana Studio. So from there, you get connected to Hana server, which is with running in different IP address. So that is not made public. So we are setting this up in cloud now for our customers. So for cloud, they give us VPN access. We get connected to VPN. Then with Hana Studio, we'll get connected to that server because that is public IP. Public IP for Hana server. So I can use that IP and ping Hana server directly, so I can get connected. But what are the public IP you're getting connected from Vasu? That is not the public IP for Hana server. That is for another desktop system where is giving you access for. From there, you'll have Studio get connected to a different server, Hana server, which is a different system.
Sir, can you once again brief the differences between the different perspectives? Differences between different perspectives available here, like Hana modular.
I'll come in detail. I just gave you only what is available here. So let this go on. Let's not waste.
So when the software is being loaded,
Yeah.
Is it being done on the cloud platform?
No, it is done on my own desktop system. Because I'm going to use my desktop system as a client system. So I'm setting my client environment with all the Studio and these packages. Once it is ready, I can start getting connected to any Hana server, whether it is in cloud or in premises, provided I'm able to get into their network. Yeah.
Okay.
So let this go on. One more question. Yeah. Hello.
So,
Yeah. Tell me, boss.
Here we are able to see only component products and data sets, so we can't access the views and multi-products.
You will be doing that in normal BW only. There is only special type of product you have to work on with BW. Bus, mute, please. Okay.
So one doubt, sir. Where can we download all the Hana Studio if I want to work on my personal laptop?
Just now I showed you, from Service Marketplace you have to download it.
But I don't have the ID.
You can't
Is there any other way?
No.
Okay. From Eclipse also I can work on this one, right?
Yeah. Hana Studio is nothing but your Eclipse itself. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So this is a different system where we're going to use it. So I'm just logging into this studio. So let's not wait for the installation. So I get into Hana, then I have this Hana Studio. If that takes a while, let it go on. And I have Okay, now you've gotten, and we'll have different perspectives. Now I've got all the perspectives already set up here, BW modeling, ABAP, everything. Now we're going to discuss on what is the purpose of each of these perspectives. So as soon as you get into Studio, you'll have to choose your perspective depending on the kind of activities you're going to work on. First one, Hana modeler was. And if you say reset perspective, it'll reset all the default view of it. This is actually the default view of this perspective, Hana modeler. Okay. So the main purpose of this perspective would be about building your application database, or nothing but creating your schema, table, views, all those kind of database artifacts, and Hana modeling. Like you have to work on Hana modeling by creating your virtual objects like attribute view, analytical view, and calculation views, and that will be all done here. Okay. And then I told you we have systems view, and I can add my own system here. Right click and I'll say what? Add system. The same server, SAP Cubex is my Hana server. 01 is my instance. I'll tell you what is 01. Cubex Hana server. So I've got connected to this, and okay. Now, like this, you can get connected to any number of Hana systems provided they're in your network. Now, when you expand the system, you basically see 4 different folders: catalog, content, provisioning, and security. Okay. Now, when you expand this catalog, okay, under the catalog folder, you see all the database artifacts, all the database runtime objects or database artifacts, okay, where these database artifacts are being grouped or qualified with a schema. Look at this. Now, when I expand this catalog, I would see a schema called like 8 cubics, and when I expand this schema, I see different type of database artifacts, like what is here. I see lots of tables here, and I see a lot of procedures, and I see functions, and I see column views, I see synonyms, I see procedures, sequences, you see triggers, and then you see views, tables, all these database artifacts. So under the catalog folder, we're going to have the majorly a schema. Under the schema, we're going to have all the database artifacts. You can understand schema as a database. See, Hana is a database software. You get this logic. Hana is a database software. Now, using this software, you can create databases and understand the schema as a logical database. Understand the schema as a logical database. Now, within this logical database, you can start building all your database artifacts like table, views, all those stuff. And every database artifact is qualified with the schema name. Let's say if I just say create table, it doesn't work out. You have to explicitly specify that this table has to be created in which schema. So I should say create table, this schema dot this table. So in that schema, this table is created. Okay, understand Hana is a database software. Using that, you can build your databases. And when you say creating a schema, you're creating a logical database. And in this logical database, you can start building up your application database. Like any number of tables, what do you want? All your database artifacts will be created onto the schemas. Okay. Yeah. So if I'm given the chance to build a database here, my first focus would be about, I'll just create a logical database first. I'll create a schema. Under the schema, I'll start create as per my application requirement. I'll create my tables, and then build some provisions about ETL, BODS or SLT to pump in data into those tables. And then once the tables are filled with the data on those tables, I'll start creating my virtual models like attribute view, analytical view, or calculate, which will be your Hana modeling, and then expose them for reporting. And this is about creating a catalog or database. Now, if you work on your Hana models, Hana modeling, we get into what? Content. Under the content, we work on HANA modeling content. You get to see all the HANA modeling content, where the HANA modeling content is organized with packages. Under the content folder, you get to see entire HANA modeling content like attribute view, analytical view. These are called as HANA modeling content, which are organized with packages. Like in PW, we have info here. Same way here we'll have something called package. Now look at this. Something like I have a package called 8 cubics, and I expand this 8 cubics, and then I expand models. You can have n number of levels of packages. There's no limit. So I've got package called 8 cubics. Under this, I've got package called models. Under models, I've got different type of objects here. Like I've got attribute views, I've got analytical views, I've got calculation views here. And this is analytical privileges, and I've got decision tables. Like if you right click on this package, you have all option of creating all this. You can create attribute view, analytical view, calculation view, privileges, procedures, decision tables, all this. The entire HANA modeling content is organized under the content folder, organized by packages. You'll have packages, and for each package you'll get to see the modeling content. Modeling content could be either of these models: attribute view, analytical view, calculation.
Is this particular perspective which we are choosing? Like
Yeah. Since I'm in HANA modeler, I get to see do all this.
yeah, like suppose you are able to see attribute and then all the views you are able to see. With respect to BW, the content is there.
You will not see that. If I go to BW, I will not be able to see this view. That's a different view altogether. I'll come to that. You're saying, can I use these models in?
Yeah.
You can use. That is the benefit. Let's not go to that now. While creating composite provider, I can consume a calculation view. While creating composite provider, I can consume analytical view. Let's say I can create composite provider is like replacement for your multi provider. So I can create a composite provider which combines one calculation view and one DSO. I can do that. That was your question. We can do that. I'll show you. Okay, boss? Yeah. But don't get into that now. For now, it's a package, and you'll have modeling content available under this package. That's it. And if you want to create, so I can just right click on this content and then say new package. Under the package, you can start creating all your modeling content. That's it. Inka ekku maradte your catalog objects will have runtime objects, and your content will have the design time objects. Say for example, you create an analytical view, just drag and drop, define something, and then when you activate, it creates runtime objects in catalog. So when I can go to the view definition and change my definition again, because it's a design time file, design time object. So all the runtime objects will be in the catalog folder, and all the design time objects will be in content folder. In one of the interviews, there was a question: what is the difference between content and catalog? In the content, you go to have design time objects, and when you basically deploy, when you create the design time object and deploy it, it creates runtime objects in the corresponding runtime objects in the catalog folder. That's how it is. We'll see when you get to it. Okay, then there's something called what is provisioning bus. This folder mainly deals with the smart data access. I told you there's something when I was discussing about application capabilities. I was discussing on something called smart data access. This is like virtual access bus. Let's say I've got an external database, like say DB2. Now we have HANA bus. Now what I want is I would like to consume the tables in DB2 as virtual table in HANA, like remote cube in BW bus. Okay, so by using smart data access, I can create a remote source connection towards my DB2, and then start consuming those HANA DB2 tables as virtual tables in HANA. I'm not going to do any loading. When I try to see the data of my virtual table, it's actually going to show data of my DB2 database. Same way, let's say I've got SAP ECC and I've got HANA. I can connect my HANA system, I can connect my ECC system to my HANA through remote smart data access as a remote system. Then all my application tables in ECC can be viewed as virtual tables in HANA. That is what we refer. That is a concept we refer to smart data access. But only this, when you're accessing it virtually, you'll not have any transformations. You'll get to see data as it is from the source. Now, for example, you see we create some remote sources. Let me go with the PHP. The download. Okay, one table do them first. See, I'm actually connected this. This is the connection which I've connected to an ECC, which was running on MS SQL database. And if I expand all application layer, I get to see now entire ECC organized by logistics, HR, and accounting. If I get to logistics again, I get to see sales. Under the sale, I would like to get into sales orders, especially SDs, SLS. Now here I would like to get into what? Sales order. And let's look at this VBAC, VBAP, VBEP, you have all those tables. So it's like what? I've created a remote connection towards my ECC system, and then I'm able to consume all the database tables of ECC as a virtual table. Now I want to consume this. What I'll do, I'll just take this table, I'll say right click and say what? Add as virtual table. And then when I try to see the content of this virtual table, it actually shows me data from ECC. It's more or less like your remote queue. So like this, it's not that only ECC, I can connect lots of applications. We'll come to the topic later. But see, if I try to say right click, new remote source, I'll have different set of adapters. I've got, see, ODBC, generic ODBC, then HANA ODBC, then MS SQL ECC adapter, BW adapter. I can also connect BW with the latest adapter where I can connect BW also as virtual object, virtual remote source. Twitter, all this can be connected. And even you can access data from flat files through remote source also. You can get to place your CSV files in one repository folder, then start accessing the data from the flat file also through smart data access. That is a flexibility. Okay. You got this? Now the question is, okay, we are able to consume the virtual table of a different source as a virtual table in HANA. But if I try to use this virtual table as it is for modeling or for reporting, I'm getting same data as it is from the source, but I'm not able to do any transformations. That was the case with SP7. When HANA was given as SP7, we had only this. Then this question was raised. We are not able to do any transformation. Then what they have done is they have brought a concept of EIM. EIM is what? Enterprise Information Management, which is actually a concept of BODS, ETL tool. The concept, see, all your ETL tools are based on the concept of EIM, Enterprise Information Management, which should enable it for ETL bus, extraction, transformation, and loading. So what they have done is they started including the concept of EIM into HANA. So they brought in the capabilities of ETL tool into HANA so that you can start doing ETL also in HANA bus. So that is nothing but your smart data quality and integration bus. It was introduced in SP9. It was okay, a lot of issues were there, then it is improvised now. In SP11, it's heavily improvised. And so by using that smart data quality integration, which is actually a concept of EIM, a concept of ETL in HANA, once you create this virtual table, I can use this virtual table as a source object, build your data flows, like pivot, reverse pivot, transformation, table compare, like whatever you could do in PODs, I can do all of them in smart data quality integration. And schedule this data flow in real time also. So as soon as they create transaction in the ECC, that gets processed through this data flow and gets transformed and then placed into another table. And on that table, you'll be using it for reporting. So you can also implement the concept of EIM, Enterprise Information Management, also in HANA. And slowly, he's trying to bring the concept of BODS completely into this. Actually, data processing is generally role of ETL tool, but even in HANA, they have started introducing that concept into HANA itself. So HANA itself has got some concepts of BODS into this, which is called as smart data quality and integration, which gives you flexible of connecting to source, use that as source object, do transformations, and schedule that as a job or schedule that as a runtime, real-time flow. Yeah. Okay.
You have some other techniques as well for provisioning
Yeah, that we have. No, what I'm saying is, if you got data processing technical SLT, right? SLT means what? SLT is not part of HANA. It's a separate server. You have to buy a separate license, install the SLT server, then leverage it as a middleware server to extract data from SAP and non-SAP and push data into HANA. So that is not part of HANA licensing. SLT is a separate licensing. Now BODS is again a separate ETL tool, which is separate licensing. You have to buy BODS, set up BODS, and use that to load data into HANA. Now, whatever I'm speaking about smart data quality and integration, you get that with the licensing. With HANA platform license, that's a component of HANA Studio, HANA itself, okay, HANA server, which can be leveraged as an ETL tool itself. That's what I'm saying. Getting this? There's a lot of difference between that and this. So if that becomes strong, when I buy the licensing, I can just buy only HANA. I'll not buy BODS, I'll not buy SLT. I'll just buy only HANA server, which will have the capability of ETL, which will have the capability of database, which will have capability of modeling, which will have capability of HANA application development. It'll like complete platform end to end. It will have. That's how they're trying to go towards. Okay. And in SP9 and 10, it was like a lot of bugs. They say it was more of a lot of bugs because of the smart data quality and integration. But in 10, latest support pack of 10 and 11, they've completely streamlined it a lot. We'll see that topic. We'll be seeing that smart data quality and integration also. Okay.
I have one more question.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
Through remote source, so in BW adapter, by using BW adapter, can we access multi-providers like that? In BW modeling, we can't access multi-provider, all those things, right? So by using remote source BW adapter, can you access those things, or we need to?
Sir, I missed your question. I didn't understand. What is it?
Yeah, you are telling that through remote source BW adapter, we can consume the BW info providers, all those things, right?
Yeah.
So in BW modeling, we can't access multi-providers and in all those things, right? So can we access through remote source BW adapter? Can we access multi-provider, or else we need to use BW modeling?
So I understand your question. You're saying when you're working with BW on HANA, we have a flexibility of importing BW NetWeaver models like this. Let's say you've got BW sitting on top of HANA. Then we can import BW objects into HANA. We can import into Cube, we can import DSO, but we cannot import multi-provider. Okay. So in that case, what we do generally, how do we solve that? On top of that multi-provider, we create a BigQuery, and BigQuery can be imported. We can enable the query as info provider. We have something called query snapshot, where we create the BigQuery and enable the BigQuery as info provider and build your HANA indexes. Then import the BigQuery as an analytical view in your HANA. You can import it automatically. That is what is asking. So in this kind of case, I am not able to import multi-provider, right? So when I use this BW connector and connect the BW system, will I be able to access multi-provider as a virtual object? No. Even with BW adapter, you can't connect. You can't connect to multi-provider. No.
Yeah, got it. Thanks.
Okay. Now he's saying that is the way of importing, right? Now if I use this smart data access and use this BW adapter and connect to my BW system remotely, will I be able to consume that multi-provider? That was his question. Even there you can't. Okay.
But if you create query also, you will have some certain.
So could you please repeat once again?
What was it?
Can you repeat once again what you said about this BW adapter, as you was asking for this multi-provider concept?
See, we'll be coming to the topic later, but now what we are saying is, let's say, let me click next, let it go on. I accept this license. Let it go on. Okay. So the thing is, what he's saying is discussing on next point where we say, so I got BW system. Yeah. Yesterday, no, don't talk on this. They'll get confused. Now if you say F table, E table. So this is the scenario is speaking about. So I've got my BW system run with HANA as a backend data. Normally you can install BW with any database you want. From BW 7.3 SP5, we can install BW with HANA as the backend database. Okay. Now, if this is the situation, what he's saying is, let's say in this BW system here, I've created my cube. Okay. Now, I've created my cube. Now we have flexibilities about, we have a concept of importing those cubes. Yeah? I can import this cube as an analytical view. Instead of remodeling that again as an analytical view, I showed you some option like file import and say network biddable model, and then I can select this cube. Then this cube will get imported into my HANA database as an analytical view automatically. Say for example, I have a DSO. I can import this. When I say import this DSO into HANA, I will do this. DSO gets imported as an analytical view. Now is asking if I have a multi-provider. Actually, the symbol is not fine, but in this case, we cannot import like this. How I am able to import my DSO or a cube? I cannot import multi-provider. If I have a multi-provider, I cannot use that functionality of importing, and then I cannot import multi-provider. That was his question. So workaround for this is,
What is the concept of this multi-provider?
that is, like say you have multiple cubes or multiple DSOs, and you want to unify all of them and then do reporting. That is multi-provider. It's a virtual object.
Okay.
Say you cannot do this, import multiple directly. So you create a BigQuery on top of it. You create a BigQuery on top of this multi-provider, and you enable that as a query snapshot, and by building HANA indexes, and you will import this BigQuery into your HANA Studio. That is workaround you have to deal with. So you deal with something called, they use a vocabulary called query snapshot under. Yeah, okay, that is.
So basically you are saying that we can't import multiple cubes or multiple DSOs at a time, right?
You can import any number of cubes, any number of DSOs, but you cannot import multi-provider. Means multi-provider is actually a union of multiple cubes, which is a virtual object. I can import a number of cubes, I can import a number of DSOs, but I cannot import multi-provider, which is actually virtually joining multiple providers. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then you create a BigQuery on top of it, and then you can import that BigQuery. That was he was asking. Now he is saying, you understood this case. He was comparing this case with another case. Like he was saying, now let's say I have, this is case question 1. That was he was saying. In this case, I cannot import multi-provider, right? Now, the second case he was asking, so now I have HANA database, and let's say I have BW. Yeah. Let's say through smart data access, I have connected. Let's say through smart data access, I have connected this. Let's say through by using this smart data access, I have connected my BW system as a remote system to my HANA. Now, can I consume multi-provider? That's what he was asking. At least in this case, can I consume multi-provider? Is what that was his. Ante kadanda my question. This question. At least now, when I connect this BW system to your smart data access, will I be able to consume this multi-provider? Even in that case, no. Okay, now that was his question. Okay, so this case is different, and this was he was comparing these two scenarios. Okay. Now, what was your other question?
Hello.
No, wait. There is a question from classroom here. Am I forcing you to take only less number? You take how many you want. See, once generally, if you're designing query for an user, you would go with these requirements. But when you're designing query to read the multiple, obviously you try to place all the info objects of that multiple and then consume that query. It's about consuming that view, right? You are saying generally when we create BigQuery, we don't consider all the characteristics available in the provider. But if you really want to consume all the fields of the multiple as a view, then you have to create a BigQuery with all those info objects into it, and then get that BigQuery as imported as a view. Yeah. What is the other questions here?
I have a note, like when we are connecting to smart data access to either BW or ECC running on MySQL, we are trying to fetch the data actually, right? So the performance issue will be...
We are not fetching. The data is still there in the source itself, but when you try to see the data, virtually you're reading data from the source. Yeah.
Yeah, about the performance, will it be completely optimized?
Yeah, obviously the performance would be effective, right? Would not be effective because there's a lot of difference when you try to read data from HANA and when you try to read data from the source virtually. right?
Mm.
So
So we are,
that's where the concept of smart data quality and integration comes in, where you can use this virtual table and load data into physical table again by building a data flow. Yeah. And that's where
okay, fine. Thank
what
you.
most of the people are doing is they're using smart data access, connecting HANA to HANA. So the scenario what they're using is, let's say I have it something like this. So majorly they're using the smart data access in this kind of cases. As you said, rightly said, that it will affect my performance, right? So, I have a situation like this. I have got, my client has got ECC application running on HANA, and he has also got BW application running on HANA, right? Now, why don't I use, can this be one functionality where I can say, I'll connect this HANA to this HANA with what?
Smart data.
Smart data access, and then leverage those steps, because even my source database is also HANA, it can handle my performance, right? The source system is BW or non-HANA systems, then that cannot handle. But here in this case, both are HANA systems. See, whenever they create application tables in ECC, all the application tables will be in your ECC schema, right? You'll have ECC schema, which will have all the VBAC, all those standard tables in it. Then I'll connect this HANA database to this HANA database and consume those tables virtually, and then can use them in modeling and then do reporting also, instead of physically storing it also. Because even if you try to read virtually, my virtual source database is also what? HANA. So in this case, it can tolerate that performance problem. Either you bring it to your HANA database and then do reporting, either you virtually read from a source database, which is again a HANA database, will make sense. So in this kind of cases, pretty much they're using this smart data access. Okay.
Sir, once again, this concept of multi-provider, please. Only what is multi-provider? The rest is okay.
Actually, that is a concept of BW, and
No, I have idea about this info cube and data DSO.
okay.
That is okay, just in brief.
Yeah, let's say now you have a sales cube, yeah, and you have sales data for 5 years, say 2010, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, yeah, and each year of data is in different cubes, say cube 1, cube 2, cube 3, cube 4, cube 5, yeah. So now, whenever you create BigQuery, you have to choose a particular provider, any one cube. But let's say I want to create a BigQuery which actually reads from 5 cubes, union of all the 5 cubes. Then I can't achieve directly. Then what I'll do? I create a multi-provider which says this will contain all the 5 cubes in it, and then specify all the identifications. And the multi-provider is virtual. Whenever I fire a query on multi-provider, it actually reads virtually from all the 5 base cubes and then combine the data, then give it out. So that is multi-provider.
Okay. Got it. Thank you.
Okay. I'm just saying, okay, it's on.
One question.
Would you like to read that? No. Okay. Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, please tell me.
Yeah. For example, ECC system is not an HANA system. I want connect to BW HANA system from ECC other system. Like I am using Oracle database in ECC and BW HANA database. We can connect using SDA.
Yeah, we can connect. I'll show you.
But in this case,
I'm actually, look at my scenario. I have my BW running on HANA, but my ECC is running on MS SQL. I connected that with remote SDA. Look at this here. I can do, but performance, I can't guarantee you the performance. That's what I'm saying.
okay.
We can do that. Okay. And similar way, I also want to install the ABAP tools. Yeah. So from the service marketplace, you can basically, you can say ABAP for Eclipse. Then you can download the required patch level. Then I already have it. And this is the one I've downloaded. This is more for relevant to your ABAP when you want to work on ABAP specific Eclipse. So you unzipped already, then I just have to import. I'll say help, install new software. So I'll say batch 9 ABAP. That is F and basis. And this will bring me ABAP modeling tools. Let it go on. We'll add it. Okay. So we're in that's a provisioning folder. Then you'll have a folder called security, which basically deals with users and roles. So under the security folder, basically you go about creating new users and granting them roles. And this is how it looks like. So you create some user, you grant him all the kind of privileges. I can just close this out. So you'll have system privileges, object privileges, analytical privileges, package. You can give him different set of privileges, and the user is created for him. Yeah. And same way, if you want, you can create new role also from this, and then roles will be assigned to users. Yeah. So this is what you can do it on the systems view here. And apart from this, you'll have something called, if you go to help menu, we have something called quick views. In the previous versions of HANA Studio, you'll have something called quick launch. Yeah. But now you receive it as quick view. So what SAP has done is, for most frequently performed operations, they've given the sufficient links into this quick view, and you can start launching that particular operation straight away from here. Let's say, we'll come to this later, but let's say you want to create some delivery unit, you can just click on this directly and then jump to that link and then jump to the respective dialog box, and then you can start creating your delivery unit. Or you'll have lots of generating time data, configure imports of data. Like say you want to do some SLT configure, replicate data through SLT, then use this data provisioning link and you get in, and then I know my SLT server is down now. You can just select, let's say you can say I want to replicate some table, then you can just choose a table, then start the replication and so on. So for most of the operations, what you want to do will be available from the click view, and it's similar to your easy access screen of your SAP. As soon as you log in, you get SAP easy access where you can use the menus and then get into the respective tool. Same way, this is like easy access in HANA Studio. You want to do mass copying from one package to another package, or schema mapping, and you want to do some auto documentation. You have lots of options, importing, export. We'll see all those later, but you'll have something called click view where you can launch the most frequently performed operations from this. It's like easy access menu for HANA Studios. Okay. And I think others should be fine.
So what is this redeploy?
What is?
Redeploy in the quick view?
Redeploy.
Yeah.
So I didn't understand what. Redeploy is like reactivating. Let's say you already have a view which is already activated, and so actually I told you, when you create an HANA model, it will be a design time object, right? When I actually activate that, it will create some runtime objects in catalog folder. Yeah, catalog in some schemas. Yeah. Say for example, you have changed those view definition and you want to redeploy. So when you say redeploy, it recreates those runtime objects again. That is redeploy. Okay.
Okay, at that moment activate won't work.
See, activate is nothing but redeploy. It's all same. Yeah. Only thing the vocabulary is different.
Okay.
When you activate second time, that is like redeploying. Activating first time is activate. Okay.
Okay.
You can see, if you don't know, if you can just click this, redeploy your active information objects. You want to activate those information objects what has been changed. Okay. And if you click activate, activate your information objects for data reporting and analytics. What is this? If you look at this, both are same. This is first time activation, this is second time. That's, yeah.
Hello. Hello. Hello, sir. Could you please tell me about the catalog folder? In catalog folder, what we are going to do in the left side?
Yeah, in the catalog folder, you'll have all the database artifacts or database objects.
Okay.
So you want to create some table, and that you get to see the table there, and you create table, views, sequences, procedures, functions. All your database artifacts are in the catalog folder. So when you create table,
So under catalog.
One second. When you create table, you only see table. Means what? Table is actually runtime object. You don't see the definition file of your table. Only the runtime object is in catalog. Yeah.
Okay. So you mean we will get the activated data? I mean structures and all.
Yeah. Exactly. In catalog. Yes. Yes.
So, yeah. Under catalog, can we display the data? Can we view the data?
Yeah.
Example in tables.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can display, you can delete, whatever you want, you can do. Yeah.
Okay. So we can do manipulations on the table.
Yeah. See,
under catalogs.
Exactly. You can basically go to SQL editor, and you can write all your SQL statements, and you can do anything. What you want to insert, update, delete, select, whatever you want, you can do. All manipulations can do. So you use this and open a SQL console and you can write your SQL statement. For all data manipulations, there is no UI. You have to explicitly use your SQL statements to do this. So let's say you have a table, you want to insert some data. There is no GUI or to do that. You have to write your SQL statement to insert it, or you want to delete, or you want to read. It's all SQL statement. But if you want to create it for all the DML statement, data DDL for data definition statements where you create table, you have the UI. If you say right click on the table folder, you see new table. You get a UI something like in SC11, what you get in SAP applications, then you can start creating your table.
Hello.
Yeah.
Using the content tables, we are creating views in. Using that catalog table, we are creating views in content table, right?
Exactly. See, not just the table. The ultimate. Let me just say next slide. Let's go on. See, ultimately, when you say you're using Hana as the native or Hana as data warehouse, when you say Hana as data warehouse or data mart, or some people call it as enterprise. Okay, or some people still call this as native also, but anything it is. Now, what does it mean when you're using this? When you're doing this, what does it mean? You will have the Hana server installed as centralized Hana database. Yeah. And then you'll have multiple source systems, which could be SAP or what? SAP or non-SAP. Okay, we'll refer them as source systems. And then you'll be basically using different data processing techniques, either by using an BODS ETL as an ETL tool, or we will use what? SLT, or we use some DXC, or we use what? Smart data access could be an option. Smart data QI, smart data quality integration could be an option. We can use all of this and then get the data stored into your physical tables in Hana. Yeah. When I say physical tables, within Hana database server, you'll have a logical, which is logical database, which will be your what? Hana is a database software. Within the database server, you create a database which you will refer to as the schema. Okay, let's say I say schema 1. Okay. Under the schema, I start creating all those tables replicated. Table 1, say table 2, or let's say table 3, n number of tables. Okay. So I've got a schema here, which is like one logical database. And let's say from SAP and non-SAP, you replicated those tables, or you extracted those tables and placed those 3 tables into schema 1. Okay. Then then let's say, then you create all your HANA virtual models. Yeah, you create your virtual models on top of this. This will be your virtual models, which is referred as calculation view or attribute view or analytical views, and these virtual models will be built on by using these tables. Look at this now. I'm going to leverage these physical tables of HANA and create my virtual object or virtual HANA modeling content, which is your attribute view, analytical view, or calculation view, depending on the requirement. Then on top of this virtual objects, I do my BO reporting. I use business object suite or whatever it is, and then I do reporting on top of this virtual objects. I can do reporting on tables. I can do reporting on this HANA models also. Now the question what he's saying is, when I see these are the tables which were replicated from a different source. On top of those physical tables, you created your virtual models, and these virtual models are being used for reporting. This is clear. If you remember, next question I told you, when I activate the HANA modeling content, it creates some runtime objects in catalog objects. Yes. So what happens if you make this big? By default, you'll have one more system schema called _sys _big schema. By default, you'll have a schema called _sys _big. Okay, and it's very good. There's something sys bi sys, and this is the main one, and this will have all the runtime objects of my HANA models. See now, there are two schemas. Now, this is your physical application schema. What you've done, you have used some data processing techniques like BODS, SLT, DXC or whatever it is. Then you replicate all the application tables from ECC or whatever into my application schema. Then by using these tables of this schema, I've created my virtual HANA models from the content folder. When I create this, when we create this HANA modeling content, it actually creates some runtime objects which are again created in what? In the catalog folder. In which schema? And it's this big schema. Something called as column views. We see that later. When you basically deploy or activate your calculation views or analytical views or attribute views, it actually creates the runtime objects or deploys your runtime objects, which is considered to be a column views, in which schema? Sysbig schema. Now, when it comes to reporting, I have got multiple options. Look at this now. Can I do reporting on this tables, directly tables? Without creating virtual models in HANA, without creating HANA modeling content, can I do BO reporting on this top of tables? Yes. I'll go to BO, I'll create a universe on top of these three tables, then join them and then do reporting. Can I do it? Yes. Can I do BO reporting on these views? Yes. With BO 4.1, SP5, we have this option of creating SAP HANA business layer, nothing but universe directly consuming the views. Okay. We can also consume these views and do reporting. Yes. Other way, can I also do this? When these views are activated, it is creating some runtime object, which is a column view in Sysbig schema. Can I also consume? I can also consume this column views in BO reporting and do reporting also. It is runtime, right? Getting what I'm saying? So that should make you understand what is the runtime object of my HANA views, which is a column views, and the column views can also be consumed in BO layer to create universe and then do reporting on it. Either I can do reporting on the physical tables or on the runtime object of my column views or the views at HANA models as it is. You'll have something called in the universe, you'll have some HANA business layer, newly with 4.1 SP5, where you can create universe straight away on that HANA model. So did I solve your doubt now?
Yes, so content folder contains only the design time objects and catalog contains the design time as well as runtime objects, right?
Content will have only design time objects, catalog will have runtime objects.
Yes.
Yeah, that's all.
Okay.
Sir, one doubt here I mean, it's like now we see redundancy of the data, right? You have tables and then you have these analytical views or calculation views, and when you deploy them, you again create. I mean, you again store the same data in form of those views.
Very good question. He's saying you have replicated data from a different source and loaded into this physical tables, table 1, table 2, table 3. Again, you're creating views. Again, when you activate those views, it is creating column views. So I've got the same data. His question is, I've got the same data stored in table 1, table 2, table 3. Same data stored in my Hana models, Hana modeling content like analytical view or calculation view, and same data stored in column views. That is his question. Okay. My answer is, these Hana modeling content is virtual. Runtime column views are also virtual. Only data is present in these tables. See, Hana modeling models about when you model this calculation view or analytical view, that is virtual. It's only about joining multiple tables and then you combine it. There's no data physically stored. When at the runtime of the view, it actually reads data from the base tables, table 1, table 2, table, and give it to you. And then you have even runtime of it column view also, you'll have definition, but no data in it. These two are virtual. So now your problem is solved, right? The data is stored only once now, yeah?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, now the next question is asked me. Next question, like say if someone who is good at BO, then they start asking me, okay, then these are virtual.
So query performance will be an issue.
One second, yeah. So the next question they ask me is, why should I create these models and this runtime objects? First, you just give me tables. I'll go to my business objects. I'll use IDT, Information Design Tool. I'll create a connection to Hana, consume those tables, and I'll join those. I can do all left order join, inner join, all those joining, and then all kind of, I can build my metadata and all those stuff in the semantic layer there, and then I'll do reporting. Right? There are two options. Either I take the tables of Hana into my universe, into IDT tool, join those tables, create my universe, and then do reporting. That is one option. One option is you do all the kind of required modeling within with Hana modeling content, like calculation view or analytical view. And on top of this view, you do create a universe and then do reporting. There's two options available. Now, if I go with the first option where I consume tables and then build my universe and then do reporting, all the joining and all the calculations of new columns or whatever filtering is all done at what level? At application server, at BO level. But if you look at the next case where the joining, the options of joining, filtering, or massaging, whatever it is, if I'm doing all of them in the Hana here, then where is the pressure bus? Pressure is on to Hana Studio. So when you, as point of performance of the reporting, if I try building universe on the tables, then the pressure is on the application server, the BO, which has to do all the kind of massaging for you at the runtime on fly. If I use my Hana models, which is in the Hana, then the pressure is on the Hana system. Okay. Got this? So this will be the kind of solutioning when you say native Hana or enterprise Hana or Hana's data warehouse or Hana's data mart is all one and the same. So you'll have to learn about how, if the data is available in a different system, how do I extract data from those systems and place them into Hana tables or into my physical tables? Then on using those tables, how do I create my virtual models and how to make sure the runtime objects are created? Then how do I expose them for reporting? This will be an end-to-end implementing of data warehousing with Hana being leveraged as a data warehouse.
So one question, is there any testing tool by which we can test the performance it is happening on the application server or the database level?
I cannot test the application server, but there are some tools in Hana where I can test the performance of my execution of my views. You'll have something called plan visualizations. If you see this, with this you'll have perspective called plan vis. Yeah. If I use this, basically it executes my view and shows me complete graphical way of how this view has been executed and also shows me runtime of each step. That is one option. And there's one more option called, let's say you're running, you can run some query and then formulate your query, and then when you right click on this, you have an option called explain plan. This will also tell me to execute this particular SQL statement, what are the different kind of operations it is doing, and for each operation, what is the timeline it takes. You can either use this explain plan, visualize plan is nothing but the plan visualization, everything is same. You can use both of this. This is more graphical way of understanding. This is more of theoretical way of seeing those kind of stuff. You can do that, yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, sir. You said cubes and DSOs can be used as analytical views in HANA Studio. Could you please so how to import that cubes and DSO once again?
When the topic comes in,
like into
okay. When we are dealing with BW, we'll see the topic. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Basically, now there's no point confusing for everyone. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. What is it?
Yes, when you say that program logic, like everything you have to push it to HANA database, okay?
Yeah.
In this scenario, where you have to write our code to for the performance perspective.
I didn't understand.
Okay. When you say that in HANA, I mean, normally whatever the ABAP transformation logic, everything you have to push it to HANA database.
Yeah.
To improve the performance. Yeah. So in this scenario, you have a runtime objects, schema 1, 2, schema 3, tables. Where do you have to write the coding and everything to improve the performance? It's a table level.
See, first thing is, let's say I have table 1, table 2, table 3 was. You would like to do modeling on this and then do it. That is the requirement. Yeah. If the requirement is straight away just referring tables and then doing reporting, you may not have to write any coding. But let's say I have a simple requirement. I have a table with the column called amount. I want to have cumulative value of that column. In the reporting, I had a requirement where I would like to get the cumulative value of it. Like you got 1, 2, 3, 1 plus 2 is 3, and 3. I want to have a cumulative value. But in HANA modeling, there is no direct flexibility where you can say cumulative. There is no drag and drop option to build a cumulative value. In that case, I'll have to use some Windows functions. By using scripting, I'll have to use some Windows functions for getting the cumulative values. In that case, what will I do? I'll have to write SQL script. I'll write a procedure, or I'll write some calculation with scripting based, where I'll use SQL script to build this Windows function to give me cumulative value, and I have to write that. So my coding is written within database now. So when I run my view or report, it connects to my view, and the view will trigger that scripting and then give me the cumulative value for it. If this is the case, the question what you're asking is what was about BW on HANA. That is a different case. For example, see if you see for your previous batch we've written. You're saying how do we write those ABAP managed database procedure to improve the performance of your transformations? Yeah? I know it's server up along the down. Yeah, it is there. Is it BW? Sorry, boss. You want to see ABAP program? No? I'll go to ABAP perspective. I'll connect ABAP project. If we go to favorites, temp, source library, then we'll say classes. So this is one of the ABAP managed database procedures. With this is a class, and it will have method where we So this is a class where we basically this is an see it looks like in tab, out tab, more like a source package and result package or of expert routine. Then we have been writing the scripting to do the transfer. This is an ABAP class like okay. If I go to BW system, this is the BW system on HANA, yeah. See, this is running on HANA database. If I just go into RSA1 and Cubics 8 transformations. So I've written these transformations with the, look at this, Hana possible. We have written Hana script processing. And if you see, we have used this option of routines and Hana expert script routine. Yeah. If you see this display, it is actually showing me a class TJK, right? This see TJK. This is the class here. So if you see, if you get a class, you'll have a method as a procedure, which will have the script. We cannot edit here. It has to be edited. You can only edit this program only from the studio. This is like a web managed database process where you're using transformation. That's a different case. Now, what I was discussing, this was like implementing Hana's data warehouse or Hana's data mode. Now, what he was asking about pushing the logic deep in, that was specific to BW on Hana. The person who don't know BW don't have to worry on that part. Okay, boss? Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And so my student.
I have one question.
Anna, if you ask question, ask relevant, because if you ask me about all this BW and that stuff, others who are not from BW, they feel ఈ కోర్స్ నాది కాదేమో అనుకుని రాడు రేపు ఓకే ఓకే
Sir, one clarification.
One second. I'm done with this studio. Anyhow, tomorrow I'll restart the system. It is fine. And apart from this, I also want to install GUI also. SAP GUI, we know pretty much. We have this GUI and then we run the setup. I'm going to run this because once that now tell me what is your question. I'm just installing the GUI. This is very simple.
Sir, we can't achieve. We can't import multi-provider either both ways, adapter or BW perspective. So, multi-provider, but our multi-provider has 100 BEX queries. So how to convert those, or how to import those BEX?
Can you ask? Can you come again, please?
Sir, we can't achieve multi-provider into Hana side, like either both ways. Yeah. But our multi-provider has 100 BEX queries. So do we need to convert those one by one, or what? How to? What is that?
Excellent question, boss. You cannot basically import your multi-provider into Hana as a view. I understand. So when you have so many queries, it does not make sense to create query snapshot for so many queries and do that. So one option you can do is, you will have some ready-made program which will convert your multi-provider into composite provider. Once we have your BW sitting on Hana, you will have a ready-made program which you can convert your multi-provider into composite providers. Once you convert that into composite provider with the latest support pack, you'll have an option, you'll have a checkbox which says create external Hana view automatically. When you activate that composite provider with that option, it automatically creates your view, then start using that view. That is the option you should use. Okay. You got this, boss? Hello?
Yes, I got sir.
Yeah. See, now if you go to,
yes, I got it.
It's very simple to do. Say, I have this say virtual layer. I have this see, we actually converted this. This was my info set or multi-provider. We converted them into composite providers here. So once it is converted to composite provider, we can enable the checkbox as create external Hana view automatically. Then you'll have a view. Then very simple. The program just runs for 2 minutes to convert that. So then you can start having your view. Instead of taking so much of trouble in converting so many queries as query snapshot, this is a better way, better option. Yeah.
This particular converting is applicable in 7.4, BW 7.4? Or?
Yeah, 7.4, yes. Yeah.
Okay.
There is a note, okay, if you go to RSP. You want to see the program once. A second, if you.
So I still have.
One second.
Okay, it's not relevant.
All 9 items.
Yeah, it's not relevant. No, it's not relevant.
నాకు నేను ఒప్పుకోను అడిగాక ఇప్పుడు చెప్పాల్సిందే. One second. There is a straightforward program. This is the program here. RSO convert IPRO to HCPR. So by using this program, you can basically go through. It will ask you the info provider, which is your you can just choose your multi-provider. So I take this multi-provider and I want to say batch 9. Okay, then execute. If there is already anything, it can overwrite also. Now it is already created. Now if you say go, that's it. Live it. Batch 9T.
I think we just simulated it mode.
Okay. You can also say convert and copy queries also. Okay. Okay, done. See, you have this, and then you can open this in your HANA BW modeling and enable the checkbox saying create external HANA view automatically. Then you will get a view. That's the option you can use. Okay. Okay, we'll stop it here. And now you said we have set up the HANA Studio. From tomorrow we should start working on we'll still have to get the exposure on other perspectives like administration perspective, the HANA development. Then we'll start working on those perspectives. Right? Thanks. Can you please program name?